On our recent road trip to Albany, New York, we took a detour to Wild Things Rescue Nursery, run by plantswoman Dawn Foglia. Tucked away down a relatively unassuming and yet precarious dirt road, one would think Dawn doesn't get a lot of passersby. But given that she grows native plants by seed, she has built up a loyal cult following. That wasn't always the case, she told us, because when she started to propagate childhood favorites like trillium and trout lilies 20 years ago, most people found her mad, often favoring the brighter and more boisterous horticultural varieties. To top it off, she favors the more humble natives, like spring ephemerals, which, given that it was mid-April when we paid her a visit, it was the perfect time to see all of her favorites emerge before the trees leafed out.
This side is predominantly, except for underneath that tree is a really gorgeous garden, but that's mostly the sun plants that, you know, come later on after the woodland plants.
How'd you get started with this here? Were you always a plantswoman, or did you just...
Yeah, I pretty much was. I mean, you know, this high, following my old German papa around 5 days a week in the gardens. And I was a child of the wild. I had a horse, so I couldn't wait to get on the horse when I got home from school and take off. And what you saw was all these wonderful plants all through the woods. I mean, acres of trillium, which are my favorites.
The trillium are so beautiful. So do you have a lot of native trillium around here?
I grow 17 different species of trillium. Wow, that's great.
And it's trillium season right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
They're not all locally indigenous, which technically a native plant is supposed to be something that grows in New York, or at least
your ecoregion.
But I got a bad trillium problem, so.
Well, it happens when you really like a plant. You really want to start kind of collecting and seeing all the different kinds.
Well, they're so magnificent.
Look at them right here.
Now, see, this is a southern sessile. In Virginia, the Carolinas, you know, perfectly hardy here, and it's not aggressive and doesn't cause any harm to anything. And they're gorgeous. Most of them haven't opened yet. This is going to be what they call propeller trillium when it opens, because the petals and sepals all kind of twist in the same direction, so it looks like a
I love the modeling on a lot of the
gorgeous?
trilliums. Yeah. Is this some of our native sedum or no?
It is, but this is a native woodland or edge of the wood sedum. It's
like
not
a tornatum? Sedum tornatum?
I'm impressed, yes.
Oh, cool.
And the bloodroot, which is...
Oh, has yours flowered already?
This is a weird
flowering.
aberration of nature. I mean, there are genetic differences in colonies, even in the same region.
Yeah.
You know, like blooming earlier, hanging on to blooms longer, semi-double blooms, things like that.
Yeah.
So this actually has an extra large bloom that is tinged pink.
Ooh, interesting. Even before it's pollinated.
Yeah, so I mean, the petals on bloodroot last, what, 2 days?
Yeah, not long at all, you're right.
But it's earlier than what we're used to seeing, you know, and bigger. I mean, it's like it's on steroids.
The leaf shape is unreal.
It is.
It's not. It's like
even
unlike
without the flower.
Yeah, even without the flowers. And then is this a little mitella?
Oh my God, you know native plants.
I do know native plants a little bit, and I like the woodland. I like woodland
but
plants.
This is a really obscure one that most people don't know.
And like an obscure meaning they don't know.
Even people that are really into woodland plants are not usually familiar with. The common name is bishop's cap.
Yeah, and this is, remind me, is this a rue of some sorts? But it's...
You know, they keep changing the names on things. The common name is anemonella.
Anemonella
which it was always Anemonella phallictroides.
Yes, okay.
But I believe they've changed
like a thalictrum.
Exactly, yeah, because
like
the foliage is very thalictrum-like.
Yeah. And do you just put a lot of wood chips and leaf matter, or you just kind of...
I do, mostly because I have no time in the garden since the business is, you know, kind of taken off. So it goes a long way, you know, towards keeping weeds at bay. Plus it feeds the soil as it breaks down. And with the weather we've been having, you know, it was last year. Did we go into the mid-90s in May and it lasted for 6 weeks?
And you probably even get it here, even though you're kind of forest covered, you know? It feels much cooler.
Yeah, but the
right
woodland
now,
plants have a lot less tolerance for that kind of heat. And what they end up doing is going dormant a lot sooner. But a really thick layer of mulch keeps those roots cool.
Right.
much cooler and keeps the moisture in the
So
soil.
how do people find out about you? Because you are like on a dirt road, you know, kind of at the end of it.
Google's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful, that's how I found you. I mean, at the end of the day.
Yeah, you know, it was one winter. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time indoors except for winter time. There's nothing to do. You know, I update the website. I said, you know what? Let's see what this is all about, this Google search. Well, I found out that it was free. So, you know, for the heck of it, more cuneatum here. I put it on Google Maps.
Yeah. And people find you.
It was amazing.
And you know, a lot of nativists, as far as plants go, like sniff people out, so.
It is a cult-like following.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a small following, but yeah.
When did you start the nursery?
Well, I mean, we built here 30 years ago, and the greenhouse went up at the same time the house did, but I kind of ran other people's yards and garden centers while I was trying to get this off the ground.
Yeah.
Before I, you know, took the jump.
It feels like a natural jump though, right? You start propagating your own plants and you're just like, there's so many of them and you're like, let me just put these in a pot and people are asking for them and give them as a gift.
Well, I started out trading plants.
Yeah, nice.
Over the internet.
Yeah, like swapping.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of my favorite ground covers.
Are these irises?
Yeah, the iris cristata. It's actually got a pretty big bloom.
Huh.
You can see some in the nursery that are blooming.
Nice.
But for the size of the plant, I mean, that's as tall as it gets.
Yeah.
And it is a good creeper if it's happy.
And this is hydrangea quercifolia?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oak leaf.
Oak leaf, yeah. And then what's this little guy who's all
It's a dicentra. It's a
Oh, a dicentra, okay.
That's as tall as it gets, and it's a ground cover dicentra. Dicentra eximia. I just call it ground cover bleeding heart.
Nice.
Let me get some foam flower coming back to life.
Yes.
And this is also not commonly known.
The pachysandra of sorts?
No, it is they call it cardamom, a wild cardamom.
Oh, cardamom, okay.
Dentaria diphylla.
Yes, like the
Toothwort, that's another, yeah.
Yep.
But the other ones are really weedy.
Yeah.
This one spreads nicely but doesn't take over.
Nice. I mean, some people would be like 3 leaves, poison ivy kind of feel, you know, kind of has that
And when
that
it first
vibe.
emerges, it has kind of like the smoky dark tinges to it, so that it really looks
yeah.
like poison ivy. So then over here we start with the woodland gardens, except for the pollinator garden here, which is
the kid garden over here to the left, and the woodland garden to the right.
The grandkids, yeah.
Do the grandkids appreciate and respect the plants, or do you have to like say
They do. I mean,
don't
actually,
run through the gardens?
My granddaughter, who's going to be 11 next month, she spent from the time she could toddle. She was my little helper out there. She
in
would
the
help
garden.
pot. She loved collecting seeds.
Yeah, very nice.
But now, you know, she's getting into the teenage years,
yeah,
so it's
a
not
little
quite
rebellious.
as exciting anymore.
You never know. They really come back to it. You know?
You do,
We
yeah.
meet a lot of people who like, yeah, I didn't want to get into that business, and now I'm back in it, and I love it. You know.
Well, I mean, obviously, look at me. I mean, a lot of your childhood experiences do
Yeah.
form who you are and stick with you.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, you feel like almost with all woodland garden, but I don't know what this looks like after the spring ephemerals go away.
well,
does something else
you got
pop up?
foliage, and there's
Yeah.
a handful of things that that bloom in the woodland garden
Yeah.
in the summer. I mean, yeah, the majority, 90% are spring bloomers.
I mean, which is great because we're out here at a good time to see them.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
The trill. I mean, a lot of them aren't even up. Like I grow all these species of trillium. They're
Yeah.
actually early, mid, and late.
This one's like a nodding one, it looks like.
This is hepatica.
Oh, this is a hepatica.
A cutiloba, the sharp leaf one.
As opposed to the round leaf one.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, no, this was the round leaf one. This was a cloud of blue, but as you can see by all the cages, and wait till you see the nursery,
Yeah.
I've got some serious deer.
Oh, deer damage.
And
Okay.
it's one. I'm in here 30 years, and a little bit of browsing is expected.
Right.
But it's this one bloodline, the genetics, it started 3 years ago with the grandmother.
Yeah.
And she taught her young one
Yeah.
where the buffet line was.
Yeah.
So,
We call her the Great Dodini, but I think she got hit this year, so.
well, see, I have hunters that come here in the fall,
Yeah.
and they took out the grandmother. But so then I had the mother last year.
She also has a Great Dodini.
But then she had
Babies,
a baby.
and then told,
and,
yeah.
And this one is on a revenge tour.
Yeah. This is what
I mean,
Sandra said. He doesn't want to have the lineage go through.
It's not, but it's awful. I
Yeah.
mean, once they get trained to eat in a certain place.
And this is Jeffersonia diphylla.
Yes, twin leaf.
Yeah,
Reminds
twin
me
leaf.
of green butterflies. Again, something whose petals only last for a couple of days, but the leaf is gorgeous. And you know what I love? See, this is the seed pod getting ready. That will swell up to be about an inch.
So yours flowered already?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's not even flowering
But this
yet.
turns into a little beer stein. It actually has like a seam.
Like a German beer stein?
Exactly.
So
and when the
hilarious.
seeds are ripe, the top pops open and it forms a little spout and it bends down towards the ground. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool plant.
And then is this like a celandine? What is this?
It is, yes.
Okay, celandine.
I am so impressed with your knowledge of native
thank
plants.
you. I appreciate that. I was also a child of the wild, but didn't ride horses.
Virginia waterleaf.
Oh yes, and these could get quite large, right?
No, that's it's a ground cover.
This is a ground
by
cover,
creeping, but mostly by seed. It seeds like the dickens. Oh, and there's some ramps over there.
And violas.
Which I think I grow about 12 different varieties of those. They're really important as a native plant because...
Fritillary butterfly is really...
Well, it's the larval host for a lot of little butterflies.
Yep.
And it's
such
early nectar.
It's such a really diminutive plant that you wouldn't think about, but it is, like whenever I would walk through forests, it's dotted kind of everywhere, you know what I mean?
Well, some of them are prolific seeders. Others not so much. That's not native.
Pulmonaria.
I thought I got all that dug out, but now everything you see is not native. I've been here 30 years. I used to do collector plants natives.
I'm not cultish, so I'm not gonna berate you for growing something that's not native.
I have to explain to customers when they bop around that, it's like, ooh, what's this? I've never seen that. Well, because it's not native.
Yeah.
These are, and you can't tell yet because they're not open, but this is a hybrid trillium, this whole patch down in here. Because I've had so many different trillium species for so many years, some of them have started crossing, and I've come up with some really interesting hybrids.
Look at these little, is this Dutchman's breeches?
It is, yep.
Which is
also a dicentra.
Sonder, you'd really enjoy that. Sonder's Dutch, so these are maybe the breeches that Dutchmen used to wear.
The little pantaloons, yeah.
So that's like pants?
Yeah, pants, yeah.
You see these old photos where these guys with these really big fluffy pants.
Yeah,
See, I think of them as riding
pants,
old-time riding pants.
That's true. And here you have your Mertensia virginianas, or the
Virginica, yes, Virginia
the bluebells.
Which again are prolific seeders. I mean, I started out with maybe a handful of plants.
They are very expensive. So I feel like they're expensive to get them, like, a root of one.
Really?
Yeah, compared. Well, maybe you're cheaper. I don't want to affect your rates,
No, I haven't raised my prices in years.
Yeah.
That's
why I said I don't want to affect your rates. No, I usually get like 10 or so, like every year.
But don't you find that they seed all over the
absolutely,
place?
absolutely. You want a patch right away.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Impressive to see a large patch.
When you go to like the botanic gardens or whatever, and you see a huge
an acre
patch
of them, or in nature, there's an acre in the woods.
And you won't get them now, but the bumblebees love them. Now look at those.
Oh, yes, they do.
Those are pink pantaloons.
Right, that was a plant trade. With another plant enthusiast. Cool. Now, see, these are seedlings along the rocks there, so I'm really curious. A lot of times when you get this weird aberration, the seedlings will not come true to mama.
Yeah, okay.
But many times they do.
And then there is a sanguinaria that is just coming up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like, this is the typical. You'll see them all throughout the garden, and they're just blooming now. Of course, the petals will be gone in another day or so.
Now, what's this one? I'm unfamiliar with this.
Yeah, that's because it's not native. They call it winter aconite, and the reason before I went 100% native and when I propagate, I had gotten them because we were keeping honeybees, and they bloom in the snow still.
So this is...
And the pollinators love them.
Is this the Eranthus then?
Yes.
Oh, this is really... So I have this growing in our lawn, but you don't always get to see the beauty of the world leaf. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, this seems like a nice, robust
But that's an ephemeral too, as you know. It's
Yeah.
going to disappear as soon as it gets done ripening seed.
What is your grow zone here?
Well, they changed it, right?
Is it like 6 or is it 5?
I mean, for as long as I've been here, we were always kind of considered like a 4B.
Oh,
I think.
you're colder.
Yeah, but they changed it. That was it. So I think now that we are 5B.
Okay.
But I'm not buying it.
Yeah. And then here's our little toad lilies right here. Did they?
Oh, the trout. That's
the trout lilies.
Trout
yeah,
lilies.
sorry, trout lilies. Did they bloom for you yet?
Oh God, you know what? Right over there.
Okay, they're more in the sun.
We should go over and look at, because that's a magnificent patch. Now see, I've been growing trout lilies forever. I've seen them in the woods forever. You see acres and acres of leaves, but no blooms. One of my big ornamental trees came down a couple years ago. So all of a sudden, this went from a shade garden into a pretty sunny garden.
We have heard that from multiple folks of when the tree goes down, they all of a sudden have all this sun to deal with.
Blooms.
Look at them, yeah.
So trout lilies are not shade plants.
Well,
not if you want them to bloom.
Yeah, they really, I have to say, I just found them blooming in our woods, but like we had cut down quite a bit of trees.
It was bright shade.
Yeah. Well, look at the pink coming up. What is that poking up?
Oh, that's going to be an Asian Solomon seal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't sound so upset.
Well,
like I said, I'm not going to berate you.
This is a gorgeous garden over here.
Wow, is that some type of prunus?
Oh, the weeping cherry?
Yeah, is it a weeping cherry?
Yeah, I keep waiting for it to die so I can put a native there. It's been here
Yeah.
30 years.
Well, you know.
Look at these.
These are beautiful.
Now, most of these are cuneatum.
Uh-huh.
I do have some luteum in here, but the cuneatum has see, these are getting a little bit more sun or different genetics, but
Yep.
this is the ones that we saw over around the cottage.
You've never been to Mount Cuba, have you? With
Oh,
their
I know
trillium
of it,
collection?
but no,
Yeah.
I've never
We
been
did
there.
a video on their trillium collection, and I think you would enjoy that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, they have, and they collect, trillium from all over, the
Too,
United
but not- yeah.
States. Yeah. They have a much more generic view of native. Specifically, they try to work on native, but native to the United States is kind of more their
But you know what?
broad.
When I first started doing this, even 20 years ago, and nobody was doing natives, and it wasn't a cool thing. But the terminology, the definition of the terminology has changed. It used to be 20 years ago when you said native, like you just said, native to the U.S.
Yeah.
But then it quickly closed into just the East Coast.
Yeah.
But then now that natives have come a little bit more into the public eye, people don't laugh at me anymore, but also you've got people that are really narrowing down the term. Most acceptable is native to the state of New York and nearby.
Yeah.
But then there's New York specifically, and then there's also, and they've got
Your
maps,
county.
ecoregion.
Ecoregion, yeah.
And there are maps.
But ecoregion is quite broad because, like in our ecoregion, we could go all the way down through Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
and
it's like
everything.
a hallway.
But ecotype is more like very specific. They want it to the county. They want it to the very specific.
Then there's that group.
Yeah. There's all sorts of groups.
I mean, I figure if you've read Doug Tallamy, I think he has a very good look on it. He's much more welcoming for people to try natives instead of shaming and getting a little bit too hard-nosed about things.
Right.
And I love how these paths are going
Yeah,
from
and you
grass to moss.
And you have moss, and then there's always like little things that seed in here. You know what I mean? It's
Yes, there is. These are prairie trillium, bloody nose trillium, Trillium recurvatum. Bright shade, you get a more robust plant. There's bloodroot peppered all through here, the regular.
Now, do you find that this just kind of spreads, or you plant things in certain places? Or?
I planted things in certain places 30 years ago. Everything you see now is where they wanted to go. Oh, this is the Ozark trillium,
Ooh,
the
wow, look
Trillium
how
pusillum.
thin
That's a
it
mature
is.
plant. That's as big as they get.
No, that's cute.
I love them.
And then are these all little aquilegias?
Yeah, most of these are the Canada. Then similar is the low early meadow.
Yes, the thalictrums.
meadow. Oh, and then there's, these are New York, but I think they're either threatened or endangered. This is the true Trillium sessile, which they're also a mini, and they're really happy. I started with like 3 plants, and they're all through this garden now.
So I learned that trilliums are medicinal, and they often, had been over-collected for that.
Every native plant
Yeah.
is a medicinal, and I've been using plant medicine on myself since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And it works.
Well, let's, I guess, take a look at the nursery and see what you have
Sure.
growing there.
Oh, he get pictures of, this is probably the rarest trillium that I grow, the decumbens. It's gonna be a burgundy. So yeah, this is the nursery. We're walking by tree and shrub land.
After perusing through her woodland gardens, we took a short jaunt over to her greenhouse and nursery area to scope out what she was growing.
So I mean, basically, this is winter storage. Anything that's left over gets cut back and put away. But it's also where I start. I collect my own seed.
Yeah, that's great.
From the gardens and also while kayaking.
While kayaking.
Yeah. So they start out in those little seed trays, and
Nice.
then when they're big enough to handle, I start transplanting them into the cell trays, and then when they get big enough in those, then they go into the gallons.
Wow.
And believe it or not, I can get a seed that I mean, this still amazes me. A seed that I planted last fall will be a bloom-sized plant by the end of May.
Wow.
June. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, it's great. I mean, and these are all like basically your seed collection. Do you propagate it all, or is it all seed?
With woodland plants, it's a whole different ball game. Some plants are easy. You pop a seed into the soil, it sprouts, you do what you want to do with it. The woodland plants, and I have learned this from my own mistakes, their seed does not like potting soil, and it knows when it's in potting soil. And very low percentage of germination, they rot. So the woodland plants, I spread the seed on the ground around mama.
Yeah.
And then when it's big enough, I will go and dig up extras. So most of the woodland plants, that's how that is done. These are mostly sun plants that you see in the plug trays.
Now, is it true that like trillium gets spread more by ants?
Yes.
So it's kind of like
and chipmunks.
And chipmunks, okay.
Yeah, I actually had
We have a lot of those.
a Saratoga, a Skidmore biology professor come out, and he had to do a paper on seed distribution.
Yeah.
And he was so excited when I told him that chipmunks steal my trillium seed pods before I can get to them sometimes, because it's pretty much widely accepted that ants are the only ones that spread it.
Right.
So did chipmunks, and so did deer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and so you just have everything kind of piled in here. What's this little guy right here? This is a Salvia lyrata. That's our native salvia.
One of them. The other one is azurea.
Nodding onions, which are really cute. They have this little like pink little
like a
flower.
big chive blossom.
These look like Asclepias, but not. No, this is flat top.
Yeah, I got I've got lots of the swamp milkweed.
And then you have some bog plants as well.
Oh, now this is something you might want to get a picture of because it's wicked cool. I did a man-made peat bog out in the nursery so that I could grow things like this. Because next to woodlands, I guess peat bogs are probably my favorite environment. All the orchids and sundews, pitcher plants.
And then you have some shrubs as well then here.
Yep, that is the highly sought after maple leaf viburnum, Viburnum acerfolia.
Is it not common in the trade, I guess?
It's not at all.
Okay.
I don't know anybody else that sells it.
Interesting.
And it's wonderful because it's so drought tolerant.
Yeah.
It is a slow spreader, but it doesn't get huge like the other viburnums. I mean, they only get about 4 feet.
Yeah, I guess like the ones that you see are more like the trilobums that you see.
The high bush cranberry,
Yeah.
Yep.
And then this one is what?
That's swamp rose, and
okay.
that seed that I collected while kayaking in Saratoga County. I grabbed a couple hips and got them going.
Oh, and some of our native rhododendrons here.
Yeah,
in
well, that's
bloom.
not New York specifically,
Yeah.
but close. I think Pennsylvania.
Well, Pennsylvania is, it's amazing the border, how you see so many more rhododendrons in Pennsylvania and not necessarily in New York.
Yeah, just a little bit. Of course,
I don't know if it's the glacier, the way that glaciers came in and
I mean, if you do any hiking in Massachusetts, I've seen a lot in the woods. So yeah, this is the little goodie, woodland goodies table. But for the violets, I mean, you've got
Those
every
spread.
color imagine. Yeah, but these do. The sororias do. But then I've got some in there that I haven't brought out yet. The palmata. You hardly get any seedlings at all. They don't all act the same way.
Well, this is really lovely, Don. I really appreciate you taking us through this. I mean, and I love how your passion has come through with all the plants that you've loved since you were a child. And now it's here.